Welcome back, dual-sided. Canelo Alvarez defeats Billy Joe Saunders by TKO after the 8th round. I mean, just crazy. What was your thoughts going in?
It was a good fight leading up to the 8th round. He obviously dominated that final round.
Yep. So going into this fight, Canelo came in at 55-1. Obviously, after 10 bouts, he's 56-1. Billy Joe Saunders came in at 30-0, undefeated. Now he's 30-1. So he has one loss on his record. The AT&T stadium where this event took place, it set a pandemic record of 73,126 people in there. Just looking at the stadium, did it seem like it was like so much people in there?
It didn't seem like 70,000, but
When the Cowboys play there, it's less than that, huh?
now it's way more.
It is?
Yeah, it's 80,000.
80,000?
What did it say, 70?
73,126.
So it's not exactly full.
It also set a U.S. boxing record for the largest indoor crowd. So, I mean, I think the other records were held by Anthony Joshua. I don't know exactly what bout, but I saw that come on screen on a graphic. So this is, Canelo making new records here. Alvarez and Saunders both came in weighing under the limit of 168 pounds. The limit, Alvarez obviously the WBA and WBC champion, stepped in at the scale at 167.4 pounds, and on the other end, Saunders came in. Obviously the WBO champ came in at 167.8 pounds. What was your thoughts on Saunders to begin with? He started off pretty good, huh?
Yeah, he's surprised. He was surprising, and
coming in at minus, what was it? Canelo was minus 700, and he was plus
450 according to Oddshark.
According to Oddshark, plus 450. Like, a lot of people didn't think it would go the distance, but even coming into the fight, Canelo predicted an 8th round after the 7th and 8th round, which ultimately, you agree that he got it done because he said 8th round, so he ultimately landed at 8th round. But before we get to that, Canelo was, he was going through some difficulty, trying to figure out Saunders and his southpaw stance. The first round I had to give it to Saunders. First and fifth. How much rounds did you have Saunders winning? I had him only winning 2.
1 maybe.
An announcer, I forgot. I think his name was Chris Mannix from the Zone. Like, one of the announcers said they had Saunders up, or they either that or they had it even. Which, that's not. You didn't see that at all, huh?
What, Saunders even?
Yeah, he said that it was even. Which, yeah. I don't know what fight he was watching, but
I don't
know. Saunders did very impressive. This isn't the last time he's gonna. We're gonna hear from him. And by the way, all the judges had, Canelo winning. Every judge, all 3 judges had him winning. So that has to mean something. Coming into the 7th round, he started to figure out what Saunders was, doing, his game plan, his movement. You could see like Canelo picking up his confidence even after the 5th round. Like 5th round, that's when Saunders began more comfortable, and then that's when Canelo landed the right uppercut, and it landed on Saunders' right eye. And guess what it did?
Fractured, yeah.
Fractured orbital bone, according to the broadcast. Which obviously the right after that, like immediately, like
he couldn't
immediately swollen, huh?
Yeah, he couldn't open his eye at all.
Like, I was surprised that usually when you get hit, like, it takes like a few minutes for it to start, swelling or turn purple. But like immediately for him, like, it turned purple, and by the time he walked back to his corner, and sat on the stool, like, it was shut. And ultimately, that's what, his corner, I think they threw in he waved his corner man, he waved it off, the ref,
it was a corner stoppage.
Yeah, corner stoppage, which, a lot of people said he quit. You think that's a quit? Like, that's a legit...
Yeah, what did they expect him to fight with one eye?
Yeah, like one eye.
This isn't Michael Bisping, but...
Like this is you're playing with, like, if he went out there, he definitely would have got knocked out in the ninth round. Fighting with one eye. So I mean, ultimately he, the right decision by his corner and him.
And speaking to that, Mike Coppinger, he tweeted, Billy Joe Saunders was transported immediately into an ambulance to be examined for suspected broken right orbital bone. So he was immediately transferred to the.
Which, I mean, it most likely is a broken orbital bone. If not, then it's at the very least fractured. But following the bout, post-fight Canelo, when asked about the injury that Saunders sustained from his uppercut, he said, "I knew it. The truth is, I knew it. I think I broke his cheek, and I knew he wasn't going to come out. I went into the corner and told Eddie he isn't coming out," which Eddie is Eddie Hearn. And then also, Canelo admitted that, Caleb Plant, who's 21-0, who holds the IBF belt, he's next. They just gotta work on the financial, the agreements and all that. Obviously it's boxing, so we gotta wait for that. But Canelo's starting to get closer to the GOAT, or at the very least, he's entering the GOAT conversation. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Floyd ended his career undefeated, but ironically, Canelo's only loss came to Floyd back in 2013 September.
They got to do that again. That was a good fight. Which
many people thought that Canelo was before his prime, which I agree. He was young, and
it was 2013. How old is he now?
I have no idea, but I think he's 30 something, in his early 30s. But I mean, he was young.
He's 30 years old right now.
So he was what, 22?
7 years ago. 22, 23.
I know, and then Floyd had to be like 35. So I mean, Floyd, at the very least, he could also argue that he was old. He was past his prime. I don't think we're gonna get the fight anymore. Obviously, Floyd is out here fighting Logan Paul. Running after Jake.
Yeah, if they fought again, Canelo probably would have.
Yeah, Canelo's too experienced at this point. And the crazy thing is, you just admitted he's 30, so he has a lot of years left in his tank, and he even admitted that he wants to fight as soon as September. That's the target date. Whether it's Plant or anyone else, like, he has his list, and it's up to him what happens next. But Canelo, obviously, in a crazy night, a crazy TKO stoppage win over Billy Joe Saunders. Just crazy. The whole Mexico on Cinco de Mayo weekend, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, Mexico is definitely celebrating now. The whole crowd, it seemed like it was in Mexico, huh?
Yeah, and in this last round, he was kind of like playing to the crowd.
Yeah, he was playing to the crowd. Also, that's what Saunders.
Up.
Yeah, Saunders was also, after the fourth round, I think fifth round, that's when he began like sticking his tongue out, like, Tyson Fury. He was in his corner, so he must have took that out of Fury's book. He was mocking.
Yeah, Fury, he had Saunders winning, huh?
Yeah, he had him, in this corner. But Saunders did better than I thought. So I mean, we got to give him respect on that. Definitely not the end from Saunders. He's definitely a serious contender, and he deserves the respect. I mean, he was being booed. I have no idea. Apparently, there was some beef going on, but I have no idea what it was.
He's from the UK, huh?
Yeah, United Kingdom. Also where Tyson Fury is from, also. But just entertaining night, entertaining day for boxing. You would agree that this is an actual boxing event we haven't seen in a while. Obviously, would you count the Askren versus Paul as a real boxing event?
Hell no.
This is
not even maybe the Tyson versus Jones, huh?
Maybe it was also, but ultimately it ended in a draw. So I mean, I don't know how I feel about those exhibition matches or that don't end in, or that don't count as your record. Even the Floyd versus Logan, that's not, even if Floyd wins, like, it's not going to count as in his record. But just a crazy night. Anything else you want to add?
That was a good fight, and looking forward to
the next matchup for Canelo.
Yeah.
So once again, this is Dual-Sided. Follow us on social media down below, and thanks for watching. Peace.